I drove over 7,000 kilometers around Newfoundland and shared almost 100 videos, both long form and shorts, here on YouTube last year. This is what I learned. My first lesson applies to anybody doing anything creative. It's not just specifically related to making YouTube videos or even specifically related to Newfoundland, but in my case, it specifically applies to making YouTube videos about Newfoundland. Basically, if you're thinking about creating something, doing something, do it. Especially something creative, because you never know who's going to be in your audience. A few months ago, at the end of August, beginning of September, I got a notification on YouTube saying that Eddie Shear is now a subscriber of my channel. If you're not a Newfoundlander, you probably don't know who Eddie Shear is, but I'm not usually into like any kind of celebrity stuff, and I'm not sure if Eddie is considered a celebrity, but he's definitely a local personality that when I got that notification, it gave me a big thrill. And actually, just a couple of weeks ago, Richie Perez took the time to send me an email to let me know that he appreciates my work. He likes my videos. Richie might not be a celebrity either, but he is a legend. I've been a fan of his music since my high school days, going to potato bug shows at the LSPU Hall or at the Loft or other places too, Peace Accord. And now you might know him as the real-life inspiration behind a very important character on the Son of a Critch sitcom. Pretty cool stuff. Now, my second lesson is actually more of a confirmation of something I already knew, but definitely was concreted over the course of 2024, and that is that Newfoundland is a lot bigger than it seems, and you need to factor that into any road trips that you take. So basically, there are practically no straight lines on the island of Newfoundland anyway. So getting from point A to point B, it's really hard to just identify two towns on a map and gauge how far they are from one another, what the drive time would be, right? This applies to pretty much any two towns that you can think of, but my favorite example to give to really illustrate this is if you look at Greens Pond and you go into Fogo Island, which is exactly one of the legs of one of my road trips this year. They're really close on a map, but it takes a long time to get from Greens Pond to Fogo Island. Now, this is a special case because, of course, you have the wild card of the Fogo Island ferry, and you never know how that's going to run day by day, regardless of the season of the year. But you have to manage your schedule based on the ferry schedule. But even aside from the ferry, the expression "as the crow flies," it's probably only about 100 kilometers between two towns, but there's no "as the crow flies" route that you can take. So you got windy roads on a highway that you can't really take great speeds with. It's a two-lane highway pretty much the whole way. You have to factor in construction, which we dealt with a little bit this year. You have to deal with poor road conditions in some places. It actually wasn't too bad on this road this year, but even in those cases, you can't really count on speed limits as an accurate gauge to how long it's going to take you to get from point A to point B, because sometimes you got to go way under the speed limit, or else you're going to really shag up your trip with a bunch of blown tires or worse, right? I do want to say that in 2024, I was pleasantly surprised by some of the highways that I traveled that have specifically, bad reputations, but it looks like there's been a lot of road work done recently over the last year or two on some of these roads. But then there were other pretty well-traveled highways like the Bonavista Highway, which was a disaster. It was really bad. So you got to be prepared to take your time just in case the roads aren't really in great shape. Now, lesson number 3. No matter how many miles I put on my car last year, or how many road trips I've taken over the past couple of years covering different regions of the province, I've learned that if I make any kind of list talking about different communities in Newfoundland, if I don't include your hometown or your favorite fish and chips restaurant, I'm going to hear about it. As I said, I covered literally 7,000, a little over 7,000 total kilometers on my road trips last year. But that only brought me to pretty much the halfway point of the province, a little east of Grand Falls, Windsor. I've eaten fish and chips at almost 20 different Newfoundland-based restaurants in 2024. Now, of course, I've tried more than 20 other restaurants, so for sure I've tried 40 different restaurants over the past few years altogether. And I've taken road trips over the past 3 years or so that I've covered almost all of the island of Newfoundland, not the whole island, and I always qualify my statement with that. I still haven't been to Burgeo, still haven't been up the northern peninsula north of Western Brook Pond. There's a lot of places I haven't explored yet, but I've covered so much of the island, and my goal is to cover everything, but I haven't done that yet. But people don't always know this. Somebody might stumble onto one of my videos for the first time at any point, and how can they know that, right? If I'm featuring a video with 10 different communities spread over different regions, and I completely miss out on another region altogether, I understand that some people might be a little bit annoyed by that. And of course, people let me know when they're annoyed. It's human nature. I do it. I know I do. So in 2024, what I learned is the only way that you can win is to do what NTV does on New Year's Eve. What is it that they say? Every town, every bay, every cove, or whatever they say on NTV for New Year's, you have that ticker going across the bottom of the screen listing every single community name so that everybody can look and say, there it is. That's the only way to do it, I suppose. Now, one last lesson that I learned in 2024 was that I'm not cut out for short form vertical video content, like TikTok or on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, right? These 1 minute, or sometimes they're a little longer now, but 1 minute vertical videos. It's just not for me. I prefer making longer form content. I prefer watching longer form videos. I prefer the horizontal as opposed to the vertical format. But as a creator who's trying to grow, I feel like I need to take advantage of the option to create these short form vertical videos. I just don't particularly enjoy it. Both short and long form videos, vertical and horizontal videos, they have similarities, but they are quite different, and they require very different skill sets to do them effectively, right? And I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with the traditional long form video, but the vertical short, like trying to pack a good story into 1 minute, that's a skill, absolutely, that some people really have. And I haven't been bothered to try to work that out. So it's not a great strength of my own. And I know that. My skill set is far more in tune with the longer format, right? Now, TikTok is still around as I record this video, but there's a very real possibility that it may soon be banned in Canada and the United States. But even if TikTok goes away, vertical short form video is not going anywhere. YouTube and Instagram are already leaning pretty heavy into the format. And if there very soon happens to be a TikTok-sized hole in the landscape, these two big players are going to lean in even stronger into this format. So I'll probably keep making, 1 minute versions of my long form videos where it makes sense to do so. It's not because I particularly enjoy doing it, not because I think this is the direction that my videos are going to go, but just because it's, another opportunity to grow as a YouTube creator. So I probably will keep it up, but just don't expect me to make the jump over full time to focusing on, 1 minute vertical videos. Just wanted to keep this one light and short. There's a lot of hard lessons I learned in 2024 as well. Maybe I'll make a video about some of these challenges that I'm facing right now. But who cares about that right now? It's a new year. I hope you all had a great holiday season, and I hope you have a great year ahead. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for subscribing and liking and all those things. I got a big year planned for this channel, and I hope you'll stick around for the ride. All right. See you, loves you. Bye.